Okay, so the rain seems to have let up slightly enough where I can make this video. It's been hitting this tin roof and really making it loud in here. So anyway, we've got the piston already in, and this is the connecting rod where it hooks up onto here, onto the crankshaft. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. I already got the bottom two bolts in, and I have the shims on the bottom. I've got one more bolt to put in. This one here, I'll slide that in, and then we'll put this here bearing cap on and tighten it down, torque it, and cotter pin it. If I can get my fingers in there. Not much room. All right. Okay. Now we got these shims, which I've pre-measured all this out, and I plastic gauged the distance between this cap and the rod to get a clearance of 2/1000 to 3/1000 to make sure that we're going to have oil stays in there. And I've already wiped this all down with STP oil treatment, so it'll at least hang there for a little while before after initial startup, so that we can make sure this has lubrication before the oil pump can pump oil up through there. And one of the things, the oil pump pumps oil through this crankshaft, through this is what's called the journal, and this is what pumps oil through there, and there's another hole that goes through the rod all the way up to the forward end of the piston. So once you get everything going, the oil pump's pumping oil through all those surfaces. So all right, we got our shims on. Make sure we got our number 1 on top. You can see over there number 2 is already installed and torqued and cotter pinned. So now we're going to do that for this side. Okay, put this in carefully so we don't slide them bolts out, otherwise I'm going fishing for shims and hardware. And I've done that already a couple times. See, it keeps wanting to push this bolt back down. Oh, come on. And here comes the rain again. Okay, got the cap on there. We're going to put the bolt, there's the nuts on. Come on. Now you can see these holes where the cotter pins are going to go through. I'll show you here in a minute how to torque these. Now per the book, the torque on these is 60 to 65 foot-pounds. So what I'm going to do is go through, take my ratchet first here and get these all snugged up, make sure they're all where they need to be. Make sure that they're up there where they're supposed to be. Now the rain's going to let up. Okay, got them kind of snugged up here. Now I've got the torque wrench, and I've got this set to 60 foot-pounds. And what I'm going to do is take them all in X pattern. I'm going to torque them to 60 foot-pounds. And I'm going to do this in X pattern. Hear that? That tells me it's a 60 foot-pounds. I will torque this one. Now we'll go back down here. Foot-pounds. Foot-pounds. So now you can see this one here looks like it's pretty well lined up, and this one here too. This one not so much, this one not so much. So what I do, I'll take this torque wrench and I'll set this to 65 foot-pounds right there, and I'll lock that in. And we got that extra 5 foot-pounds. We're going to try to use that. See, there it is. And it's not lined up. Still not lined up. Anyway, I might have to pull these out, retorque them. There are no washers that go on these, so there's no way to spread that out. But anyway, you get the idea. I'll get these torques set, and I won't make you sit through the whole video, but I'll get this right where all these slots are lined up where the cotter pins will go through. Okay, so all the bolts are torqued on the cap. We got the cotter pins in. I'm going to show you. This is the cotter pin. This is going to go down through. There's a hole drilled through the end of the bolt here, and this will go down in there, and then we'll bend the tabs up. Put that one through backwards. Anyway, we'll bend the tabs up, and that'll make sure that these bolts will not come loose. So we'll grab our needle nose here. Make sure it stays down in there. And bend this end up. Oops, bump the camera. And this end is going to get bent down around the bolt. Now this one here, when you bend this up, it's acceptable to be either at the end of this bolt here or in the center. So we're going to cut just a bit of that off. I'm going to take and put my finger over here so this doesn't go down inside the crankshaft while I cut it. Might need better cutters. Make sure you keep that little piece there inside there and not have it go down your crankshaft. Anyway, that's how we do that, and that makes sure that no vibration, no nothing. This bolt isn't going to loosen up. It's not going anywhere. So I'll get the rest of those done and we'll move on. Okay, we've got all the bolts tightened, cotter pins in. I'm going to try to show you how all this works. Got a wrench here now with these new pistons in there. I can't rotate this flywheel like I can, but if you can see how this all moves around, kind of like pedals on a bicycle with everything in there. So anyway, you can see how that crankshaft rotates around, and I'm going to get a front shot so you can see what the pistons are doing while I rotate this around. Okay, so as I rotate this crankshaft, just like I was showing you down into the crankcase, you can see what these pistons do. One moves forward, the other one's moving backwards. So as these pistons move up and down, what this does is compresses the gas and the air, fuel air mixture coming from the carburetor. And this here little spark plug, which goes in this hole here, ignites, causes an explosion. That's what pushes that piston back. What's pushing that piston back is bringing this one forward. You can see the crankshaft is kind of like pedals on a bicycle. And that's what moves these in and out. So I'll try to explain that better for those of you that don't know exactly how an internal combustion engine works, but got plenty of time to figure that all out. Got to clean this all up. Next thing we're going to do is put the head on. So thanks for watching. Bye.